with me.
That's okay. I appreciate everyone for doing everything in this race.
I disagree.
I'm going to stop talking already. Race is beginning in 5 seconds, guys.
So, as for the naming, we have an interesting one on the right side, which is All Faith in Banzai. I wonder where that comes from. Any idea, Kibetha?
I can't imagine why anyone would want to call their Black Mage Banzai. However, I think Vivi is a strong competitor on the other side.
Yeah, that's quite the run to commentate for you, because both these runners are your opponent for the group phase, right?
Yes, they are, and I'm completely unbiased.
Yeah, you should be.
I will say I have commentated my group as well, and it is extremely fun to commentate your own group. Right now we are seeing them do something known as the equipment glitch. Using the IDs for the weapon, they can hit L or R and then hit the cross button at the same time. And they start off on weapon, go to armor, and it messes with the IDs, and it gives them the equivalent armor ID, and that's how they're getting the knight's armor extremely early. We use it for selling, and we use it for wearing for the first part of this run, and it just makes our guys completely... They have a really good defense for this first part.
Yeah.
It's just a tad overpowered from about 40 seconds in.
Yeah, though there's a counterpart for getting that kind of armor that early. The armor so raises the defense quite tremendously, but lowers the agility in battle. So you won't be able to flee as easily as you would be able to with another piece of equipment, a lighter piece of equipment.
Yeah, definitely, and we will be switching that out here within a bit in the run.
So from the very beginning, there was a little divergence into the glitching process. Lenophis did the usual regular Cornelia shopping, though Shinbreaker didn't do anything, and will probably focus onto the Provoker shopping, because Provoker item shop has more useful item than Cornelia and could potentially save time later on.
Yeah, and someone asked in a chat earlier, which Kib said, not in this run. Guessing a lot of RNG manipulation. There is no RNG manipulation. The only
We wish there was RNG manipulation, but there isn't.
The only RNG manipulation in this run is how badly RNG manipulates the final times.
Well, essentially, praying is the only RNG manipulation in this run.
Yeah.
Rosa's not in this race, despite the white mage being named Rosa. We don't have pray. That is in Final Fantasy IV.
That would be nice.
The two runners are quite close at Garland killing. And as for RNG manipulation, actually there might be a way to investigate that, but that would require to mix some parameters like in-game timer, frame order, frame locations, and etc. Like something even more complex that the NES version, for example. So nobody found it yet, and that would need quite the amount of work to commit to even get it.
Which I'm not willing to do.
Neither
Don't know
am
about you guys. Yeah.
I mean,
so, we have completely missed out the first part of the game here. We've rushed through it quite a lot. We've taken out Garland, who's actually the final boss, but we'll have to take him out again. Spoilers. But yeah, that means that we are now accessing the rest of the continent, because someone was grateful that we rescued their daughter. So that's what this little cutscene is. Unfortunately, unskippable.
Indeed.
And looks like we are pretty much neck and neck on both sides here.
Yep, there might be like 5 to 6 seconds apart.
Yeah, and it's nothing RNG won't tell them, hey, I want you guys to switch.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see people actually really close at this point, though. Because quite often it can be like a whole 2 minutes difference just on encounters at the start.
And in case anybody's wondering, Lenophis actually does run on a PSP. I do believe Shinbreakerseven is running on emulator. In case
Shinbreaker used to do some runs onto his PSP as well, so...
Yeah, they both look a little...
I mean, looking at the little graphical glitches on Shinbreaker's side, there might be EMU, indeed.
No,
that's how we differentiate the both.
No, it actually looks like he's running PSP as well.
Not with those graphical glitches that happen sometimes.
What graphical glitches?
Whenever he was like those ones.
There you go.
Don't know if you saw them, like little black bars showing.
Yeah, the water tends to glitch out on emulator. That's the reason why I stopped running it.
Oh, there you go. That's Shin telling us he's on EMU.
Yeah, casual runner chatting while running.
I don't understand how people do that. It's beyond me.
There's a lot of downtime in the game. I mean,
especially for that
so much downtime between fleeing and escaping from wolves, and you know. I saw a mouse on his screen. Good detective work.
Looking for some key. Right, so Lenophis did a very interesting thing. He didn't go into the pirates fight in Provoca right away. He decided to go to the shopping part first. He bought a leather shield at the gear shop and a set of maybe ether. I don't really know if he went to the...
Love it if he got a leather shield from the drop. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be that would have been very peculiar because he bought one, assuming that he wouldn't get any from the battle. So
I like to see people suffer. What can I say?
Yeah. So the general rule for that battle is using the judgment staff that we glitched into the Chaos Shrine thanks to the leather cap item. Ooh, puzzle! I'm gonna go over it very soon.
So here's going to be one of the major root differences here.
That's my kink. And
Theo, don't talk about your kinks on stream, please.
Oh, it's just the puzzle. It's nothing harmful. So the Judgment Staff, not only they have a little attack power related to it, but they also can be used as a regular item in combat, and they can cast Flare, the most powerful black magic of the game. That's quite convenient, especially for packs of enemies. Right, so Lenophis did go through the puzzle, 15 puzzle, as is known. This puzzle has particular incentive to it. Whenever you get second place, so that's having a time between 30 seconds flat and a minute flat, you have a 1 in 6 chance to get an emergency exit, which is an item that enables you to warp out of a dungeon or a place entirely without having to get onto another previous floor like teleport spell would do. So that puzzle, like, ideally you would need to do it in 30 seconds and get the item you need. Though Lenophis didn't get it. He got one of the other 1 in 6 chance.
Basically, it's a 1 in 6 gamble in a race, which is why you won't see most runners doing it, because it's 30 seconds wasted if you don't get the item. If you do get the item, it's like a minute and a half saved. But if you look at kind of probabilities there, more likely not to work out than it is to work out.
It's enough that if you're behind, it can put you in the lead. But one of our commentators wouldn't know anything about that, Leo.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
it's Leo's pink. He's biased.
It is believed that even on a PB pace attempt, a really good PB pace attempt, if you get the emergency exit on 30 seconds tops and not having a bad RNG, would still save time for the segment we will use it because of the RNG that can be there. So why not going for it when it's a 1 in 6 chance? It's not like getting the War Make, which is even rarer.
Because I prefer to have less RNG in this run, considering it already has a load. Anyway, right, we have been missing quite a lot of the run, despite doing the 15 puzzle. Leno is ahead. He's just made it into the Marsh Cave, which is our first proper dungeon-y dungeon, which we don't actually usually get that many encounters for. It's quite a low encounter rate. And as I say that, he gets one.
Yeah, you do know about the commentator curse.
Yeah, apparently I'm good at it. What a shame that these two are my competitors.
I do want to say that I don't know what you're talking about Shin being behind. He's seen more wolves. That automatically puts him ahead.
What, because he's going to have his RNG let up later because he's seen all the wolves.
Yep, yeah, it's 12% totally at this point.
We're going on about the wolves. Anyone who doesn't know about wolves, they are one of the hardest enemies to flee from at this point in the game. So if you see a big pack of wolves, generally you know you're going to lose quite a lot of time.
Yeah, and the sole reason of that difficulty in fleeing is because of the knight's armor. Like I said, it does decrease the agility. And
for these guys going straight into Piscademons without healing.
Yeah, they both have a death.
A party member thanks to that.
They both have a casualty somewhere. So Lenophis will have a little of a disadvantage compared to Shinbreaker. They are like not even 1 second apart. Shinbreaker had his thief dying, while Lenophis had one of his mages dying. So they are both not going for the magic route, so the levels for the white mage doesn't really get any importance right now, but for the grinding part of the game, Lenophis will have to adjust the level intake to match the levels.
And it could have all been avoided if they just healed beforehand.
That's true.
I do want to say, with Kib saying that Shin was behind, Shin was actually right neck and neck with Leno in that fight.
Yeah, he caught up quite a lot.
They're really tight. So
he was still in Provoker when Leno was starting to make his way past Elfheim.
Yeah. So the reason behind going through Marsh Cave prior to any type of relevant location, it's because, well, very wisely, you would need to go to where they are heading right now.
Marsh Cave lives matter.
Yep. Marsh Cave's treasures a crown in its very depth. So you have to get it, and to
give it to
bring
Astos.
To bring it to the spoilers.
Shin just had a very lucky escape there.
That was a very lucky one. You could have gone in a
This
power
walk is fairly safe, other than wolves being a pain, except for some undead enemies that like to paralock you, which is when all your characters end up paralyzed and you can't move, and you just have to wait and hope that you can escape. Which is what nearly just happened to Shin, and is one of the more dangerous things that can happen in this run.
Right, there are... Oh.
I do want to note that Leno did use Mage's Staff there. He was in a zombie encounter as well.
Yeah.
He used Mage's Staff.
Oh, so he glitched it prior. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
The reason that is a big deal is anytime that Shin has to use Judgment Staff and Leno can use Mage's Staff, he will save time. Mage's Staff has a less of a animation to it.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
So, as I was saying, the crown is being given to Astos, who is supposedly the king of Elfheim, but eventually reveal his disguise being Astos, the Dark Elf.
Evil Drow.
Yep. So you have to get past him thanks to normal attacks and the use of Judgment Staff. So the reason we don't use the Judgment Staff with both the fighters is that their magic potential is lower than the others. Oh, and Mithr's Sword from Lenophis. That's the rare drop, and you really don't want to have that. Well,
that'll get in the way for all his equipment glitches from now on.
Did Lenophis win for...
Not a major problem, just an inconvenience.
Yeah, did Lenophis go for the gold needles yet?
I don't think Alfred did.
So I think he
Either
might sell the sword while picking them up. Be handful.
So right now, we're going to see them backtrack quite a bit. They're going to go north of Cornelia to give the Crystal Eye to somebody we've not met yet. They're going to give us an item that we're going to use in Elfheim Castle, which gives us another item that we can use to get out of this area after some more item hunting. This is one of the more boring parts of the game. We have to go through with it because we're kind of locked in this area. So we have to get out of it somehow. We're going to use that by giving some TNT to some dwarves.
One of the lessons that FF1 teaches us, don't give dynamite to dwarves.
What are you talking about? It's like the best option. Sure, it could destroy part of an ecosystem, but who cares?
And most of the world,
I would modify that statement, like, give TNT to dwarves only if they can make a hole not being pollutable by water.
Physics-defying hole.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So here's a question for that then. Would we rather not give the dwarf the TNT and let one of the bosses that we're going to fight destroy the world, or are we just going to destroy that part of the world?
I would personally break into the sealed room for the TNT and just make it explode at Garland, so he vanished for good.
If you think about it, it's then a time loop, right? So it doesn't make any difference what we do, because it'll always happen anyway.
It is a time loop at the very moment you kill Garland.
So, what's the point in any of this run, is what we're saying?
Yeah, you just try and find a glitch to get the TNT, make the crystal in Chaos Shrine explode, and yay! Even Garland will be powerless.
Can you tell that we've commentated this run too many times recently?
I think.
Here's the reason why we run this game. It's like 7.5 hours shorter than Final Fantasy X for the same plot.
Yes, exactly.
And because choosing between FF9 RNG and FF1, I would still go for FF1 because it's faster to get through all that RNG.
What are you talking? Just stutter step.
Less suffering. Also less mashing and less stuttering and therefore less physical damage.
Yep.
So these guys are still surprisingly close at this point.
Yep. And that's all for the best.
I do want to note, though, that Leno has healed his thief all the way up. Typically, we don't do that, but that could cost him time later. Reason being is we actually need them to die later on to grind the mages, something Gabetha talked about earlier. And with his HP being above 70, that could be an issue.
Not that much.
Hopefully we'll have some friendly monsters do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, Lenophis could still go for being poisoned or petrified. Could be a thing.
Could be, or using the spike tiles in Ice Cavern.
The end game for this game is just chaos. Well, mostly. In this run, particularly.
Nah, the true end game is Lich. We should end all the runs at Lich.
I mean, this game would be a lot quicker if we did. We see Leno going for waking up the Elf Prince, and this gives him the Mystic Key, which allows us to unlock all of the locked chests that we have not seen. Mostly because we're not playing this casually. We don't need to deal with those chests. Any armor and weapons that we get, we're just going to glitch. Which, by the way, only glitch that we use in this game. Didn't know if that was stated before, but I stated it now.
I mean, are there any other glitches that we could have used?
We'll have to work on finding those.
Yeah. Only glitch that we found so far. Oh, there's the crystal mail that he's got because of the mithril sword. So that's going to ruin his menu. Leno usually has very smooth menus, however.
I mean, he could just drop the crystal sword. Or the mithril sword. It's one of the items. I don't know anymore.
Where's Lich even? If you wait about 14 minutes, you'll find out.
Well, I mean, we have to backtrack through that section anyway, so I mean, I guess.
Oh, we're all having a bit of menu problems here.
Yeah, sometimes it's really difficult to just do it because you have to do it in a certain amount of frames.
Also, Shin mentioned that it's very cold in his place right now, which means he's having some trouble pressing 2 buttons in the same frame. Understandable.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes emulator likes to, if it drops a frame, it'll eat your inputs too.
Does that mean I can blame it on the EMU next time I screw up a menu?
No.
No, you should be a better runner than that. Don't
You're
blame
having
emulator.
the top time of the tournament. You can't complain until you get second. I'm not second anymore, so I have all the rights to complain.
All armor on all slots. Yes, this is called the equipment glitch.
Yeah.
Basically, all of the armor slots function as just armor slots when we're glitching. So if we glitch a weapon to an armor slot, we can put it on any armor slot except for the shield slot, because the shield slot has an animation attached. So if you put a piece of armor on it that doesn't have an animation attached, then the game just crashes and it's not very happy. So we're limited by whether or not it's got an animation coded into it. Other than that, it's fair game.
We've had some runners actually put something on the shield slot. One got away with it, which was a very we were all clenching. And then I do believe Shin had put one on his
shield
his armor
slot.
Or yeah, his shield slot, and it locked his game up. I actually don't have any of my normal stuff up real quick.
I mean, probably if you were going to do a task for it, it would be fastest to put it in the slot, but only you're then gambling with whether or not your characters are going to block using their shield, because if they do, the animation procs, and then game crash.
Yep.
Was there a command to link a Vortex Bliss? That was on RPG Limit Break, I believe.
I thought we had one for speed gaming as well.
We need to find that link, because it explains it so much better than anyone else manages to do.
Let me grab that.
And like for every time Chris messes up a command, we should have the puzzle wrong tone. Like,
what did I do?
You did not get the right command.
Oh, that's fine. Hopefully I can link that and not
the momentaneous bot of the...
Oh, I found it!
I was already on speedrun.com for it.
Yep, same. And absolutely none of us were watching the stream.
They're
such good commentators!
Well, what happened is just that we gave the TNT to the dwarf anyway.
Pyromaniac Dwarves is happening on screen at the moment.
Nerik, who's the dwarf we give the TNT to, mysteriously made the whole tunnel explode without making it float over. So we can now have the access to the overworld thanks to a canal, and we are gonna get it through the ship. So now we are back outside and ready to explore the world. But before that, have some wolves.
Yeah, everyone gets some wolves. Wolf percent.
While they're in that wolf encounter, I do want to state their personal best times real quick. Lenophis has an hour 30 minutes and 7 seconds, and Shin has an hour 31 minutes and 22 seconds. So even their PBs are close.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
And then
so
we have Kid,
is the very first one to get back to the ship. He's crossing the canal, and he's joining the next city, which will have the most important glitch, to say so, because it's the one who will give us the most power.
That's how the train tunnel between France and Britain came to be. Exactly, that's just how the Channel Tunnel was made.
I do want to state, though, that Lenophis was ahead all the way up until this point, and now Shin was technically ahead. for like 2 seconds.
And now they are a couple of frames apart again. But as you may have noticed, we have a small difference on screen now. One of us is having a warrior, and one of us has got the thief.
Yep, that's the Lenophis way of doing the thing.
Do we have an explanation for
He used to do that for I don't know if he did it, but usually he would create a barbarian sword onto the white mage, I think, or I don't know. No, he would swap the slots for the thief and the warrior. So for the black mage to have a barbarian sword and the thief. So I don't know if he still do that or not.
It's actually the same order that we see on Shin's screen, or we would see on Shin's screen in a bit. It's still the warrior, thief, white mage, black mage at the end. It's shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
I imagine that's why Leno healed his thief up as well, thinking about it.
Yeah, because his thief's in first slot, and the way that attacks work, first slot has a 50% chance, second slot has a 25% chance, and third and fourth have 12.5% chance of getting hit.
Yeah,
So
but that sometimes don't even matter, because if the enemy wants to target you from the last slot...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've all seen Chaos just punch a white mage in the face 5 times in a row.
Yep. That sounds like a lot of experience from Kibetha's point of view.
Oh, just a little.
Just a little? Oh. Right, so as you can see, each runner have moments of overtaking. Sometimes it's Shinbreaker, sometimes it's Lenophis. It's still quite a close race, and I hope it will be as such until the end.
Can we have a 1 second difference Chaos here? That would be good.
That would be...
I love the concern
delicious.
for the environment that we have in chat right now. Got a lot of tree huggers in chat. I hope you all feel like true eco warriors on your keyboards.
Ooh. I don't know if Shin grabbed gold needles.
He has the major staff, so... I think he has the gold needles. He went through it while stealing knight's armor in Elfheim.
And that did not work.
Yeah, because he used it with the white mage. The white mage doesn't have the amount of intelligence yet to do much damage with the major staff. That's why you use it with the black mage, who deals like twice the amount of magic.
Looking for his gold needles. That's it.
Trying to find a gold needle in a haystack. Boom, 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 shh.
Yeah, some runners used to sort the inventory like out of pure instinct, I would say.
Yeah, it was like your roots have inventory management written into the root, but the old ones that used to just be. It was nice to have your potions at the top, okay?
So to pull a Kibetha there. We were gonna talk about the vampire, but it died in one attack because Barbarian Sword OP.
Sorry, we forgot about that, boss.
Does that vampire even Dracula for a day? No.
Nah, he's more like Edward Cullen.
Ooh. There's not enough light down here. He can't sparkle. He was a very fabulous vampire, by the way.
Truly fabulous.
The most fabulous of vampires.
Yeah, shiny, yeah, right?
So one thing that is to notice, the Pisco demons that we fought in Marsh Cave, they are unrunnable everywhere else. The vampire that we fought here is actually runnable everywhere else.
That depends. If you encounter it alone, it's still unrunnable.
Is it really?
Yep, is it? Because the game has... The game has the vampire flagged as a mini-boss when he's alone. Therefore, whenever you encounter it alone, it's still a mini-boss, even if you don't have the background music for it.
Here, I figured it was because it was an NPC encounter and the rest were spike tiles.
Nope. the more you know. Well, that's also working with some other kind of enemies, like dragon zombies, for example. Whenever they are encountered as the sole species of the battle, it's unrunnable. But if you encounter it with a vampire lord, you can run from it.
Okay, so somebody in chat asked, what does the change in color of the timer mean? It just means that they're behind their splits.
Yeah,
it has no real relevance to this, but...
Yeah, no relevance to the race, but it might have relevance to their PBs. I'm not sure what splits they're running against, but we'll probably be able to tell easier further towards the end of the run.
I personally don't use any set of splits whenever I do a race, because it's nothing close to a real PB attempt mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I was running against some truly stupid, like, 2-hour splits, and commentators started celebrating my PB, so I thought, maybe I should start running against my PB splits during races. You know?
I celebrated your tournament PB. I do believe I commentated that run.
Right.
The 127.
Yeah, the 127. That is our best time in this tournament so far.
So far. We could be seeing a 4-minute PB for these guys. Would be nice.
This is Final Fantasy 1. I don't know what you're expecting.
Anything and everything.
Well, we did have a news, some sort of news last night. Someone from this tournament grinded the game for hours and hours and eventually went from a 129 to a 124.
Which is just the kind of crazy RNG that you get in this game.
Well, the moral from the story is grind the game and you will have a good time.
The story is grind the game and you will lose your sanity.
Yep, I'm personally not a fan of that. I mean, I have a 127 flat as a PB. I don't really want to improve it because I know that for improving it next, I'm probably gonna have to cry over the RNG digital god for it.
So, what's going on right now? Shin is running from more wolves. Yeah, they don't leave for a while, guys. Get used to the sight of wolves. We are heading back for the Earth Rod. We took out the vampire, who was kind of blocking the way down to the bottom of the Cavern of Earth. But then, later on, you didn't actually see it, but there's the stone blocking the way, which we need the Earth Rod to get. So, we've just gone all the way out, all the way back, got the Earth Rod.
Yep.
And we're going to head all the way down to the 5th floor to fight Lich now. Question in chat, do people only race the PSP version? It's a lot more popular than the other versions because it's quite a lot shorter. And it's quite fun being able to one-shot absolutely everything, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I also used to say, like, in all honesty, even though I run the game in all kind of versions except the NES version and the PSX version, the real appeal for the PSP version as for the any person category is if you are onto a race format, the RNG can make the game a lot more fun because you don't know what will happen and you can suddenly go behind or ahead in just a slight time opener. So that would be the major appeal for running this as a race, because when you go solo, you're practically facing the RNG alone. You don't have any kind of funny moments to share with anyone else.
Yeah, it's very much more fun to mess with the RNG just as a fun race than when you're actually trying to get a good time.
Yeah. Because, like, for example, if we were to dissociate the two runners into a solo run for a PB attempt, the time they are onto is...
Oh, they both already have to reset by now, yeah.
Yep. They would have reset it, like, a while ago, and coming up to Lich within 35 to 36 minutes would practically mean that they are on the same level as someone having, like, a couple of runs under the belt, like, as a new runner, so it's not representative, but objectively speaking, that would be quite similar. Wow, so both runners are now back, neck to neck. I think no, they have a floor difference. I don't really know.
And this, my dear chat, is RNG manipulation. RNG is manipulating both of these runs.
Right, so we have an internet issue for Kibitha, so she's gonna come back very soon. So we're gonna take over. Now that we have used the Earth Rod on Lenophis' side, we have the access to the final 2 basement floors. One of them is still having the cockatrices, those birds which can petrify you on a normal, regular attack. Their normal, regular attack are infused with the petrification status ailment. It's a thing. That will give some XP to the mages though, because the less people available on the field, the less experience dividing there will be at the of the battle.
I do want to state real quick. Shin has said in chat 164. Yep. I did not see that encounter.
He just got it. He just got it. It was the okra jelly. So yeah, there are enemies in some locations which have a very, very low chance to appear, and those okra jellies on that very floor, paired up with any kind of enemies or solo spacey, they can appear with a probability of a 1 into 64 chance. And we have a whole Google document compiling the results, the match schedules, the group standings, the rankings, and we also have a sheet categorizing all the 1 in 60 chances that the runners got into one single run. So for example, it's 1 entry for Shinbreaker with the Okra Jetty.
Yep. And I just answered it for Golan7 in chat. But he asked, he or she, when would Monk and Red Mage ever be used in a race? Generally never.
Only for reasons.
The reason being is the equipment glitch that we use, all of our equipment is routed out, and we legitimately want / need the equipment that we're using.
Yeah. Though the Red Mage could be used. One of the oldest route for that category was using a Red Mage instead of a Black Mage, I think. So that was one of the route possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lich fight on Lenophis was kind of interesting because he didn't get his warrior out of petrification, but that's all because when he did, his barbarian sword glitched, and that's what I explained. That was the reason Kibitha was asking for. He glitched the barbarian sword onto both the thief and the black mage. That's why the warrior is between them, because only the warrior can glitch that weapon onto those characters. And Shinbreaker is following right behind with the Lich kill. So it's strategy difference. Shin was counting onto the speed and the crit potential of both the warrior and the thief to do the maximum damage. Lich has 1.2k health, so you really need to do it in 2 shots. And Lenophis was counting on the same outcome, but having a bit of a slack moment because I think his mages would have probably survived the Blizzara if anything was happening, so he would have a chance to get another physical attack. And one of the major reasons to leave that warrior petrified right now for Lenophis is that for the grinding session, he's already having 50% of the setup. He just needs the thief to be either petrified or dead, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we will be seeing them head to Crescent Lake. And typically, casual-wise, the story goes, you go to Crescent Lake, grab a canoe, and you head straight to Mount Gold. We're not doing that. We are going to go to Ice Cavern and pick up what is known as the Levy Stone, simply because we don't like encounters. Encounters are terrible. We kind of want an airship. Levy Stone's needed for the airship.
Airship needed, so that we don't have any captors.
Definitely, and it's 4 times faster than walking. The unfortunate part of the airship is everywhere we park is extremely far away. So we have to walk.
Yeah, that's one of the cons of having that means of transport.
Love how the petrified guy gets left behind every time. Yeah, we don't really care about petrified people. They're just a dead weight.
Yeah.
Petrified lives matter.
Well, technically they're not alive. Well, petrified. They're just a piece of stone. So, dubious.
So Lenophis doesn't go for the ether shop because he already got some in Provoca. It's one menu less to do. He though went for the Mithril Gloves and the Mithril Axe to glitch first the Lust Dagger from the Mithril Glove, then the Black Garbs, and what he did? Okay, that's interesting. I think Lenophis just glitched the Lust Dagger and the Black Garb onto the Black Mage and the Black Mage alone.
That would be a Lenophis strategy. He tends to do stuff different from the rest of us.
Yeah, but I don't have any explanation and justification for that one. Because he never used to do that way.
I don't know. And somebody in chat says, "Do you mean the floater? I know not of this Levistone." Yes, it is the floater in the NES version. It is the Levistone in, I think, every version after that.
Yeah, the Levistone has been called that way since... It's either coming from the PSX version or the GBA version. One of the two.
And it looks like Banzai not helping Shin with his menus at the moment.
Yep. Having a bit of a...
Hey, don't blame Banzai. It's not his fault.
Oh, it's not Banzai's fault. Just he's having a bit of issues.
He's doing okay on the HP currently.
Mm-hmm.
That's his job.
So Shinbreaker is gonna get to the Circle of Sages to get the canoe. So, story-wise, the Circle of Sages has one major scholar called Lucan, the one who prophesized the arrival of the 4 Warrior of the Crystals, and giving you the means to understand the world and having the new transport thingy to cross the lakes and the rivers.
So we're seeing Leno go into Ice Cavern, and this is a major troll point in the game.
There's no way for us to emphasize enough that this place is dangerous. We do not like it.
This place is literally total chaos.
I see what you did there. But yeah, anything that can happen bad will probably happen in Ice Cave. Ambushes are terrible, can one-shot you. Even after the grinding that we will be doing here. It's happened in this tournament, and it's not very pretty.
Yeah, we had a runner last week rip twice in the Ice Cave and have to forfeit.
The first run of the tournament, the runner was ahead and died in Ice Cave. And lost a lot of time there. I'm not going to say who that was, but it was bad, and they may have tilted a little bit.
On Lano's screen, that bad encounter was actually being quite nice to him, because as we've mentioned a few times, we're trying to kill our thief and our warrior. However, petrifying also counts as being, well, not dead, but not getting EXP, which means he's got to make his way through Ice Cavern with just 2 characters now. Should save him some time when he gets to the grind point, but it might lose him some time trying to run away / kill all of these undead enemies.
Yeah, the general point that I would consider is if you succeed in having just your two mages on the field, is just grind along the way and make the main grinding session shorter.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we see Leno doing here.
Well, he has like zero reason not to, especially if it shortens the grinding.
It is a lot more dangerous, though.
It is, but normally the Lust Dagger coupled with the Black Garb should cover the speed and agility amount to just get the priority in turn order every time. Sometimes it can mess.
But there are always ambushes.
Yep.
Definitely. One thing that is to notice right now is the Black Mage health pool. That becomes very important later on. And we're hoping by the entrance to the last dungeon we have around 270 or above.
What?
Which never happens.
Are you talking for the Black Mage or the Thief right now?
I would say over 220 is good.
Yeah. Even in the range of a 200 flat is already something for a Black Mage. 270 is the very minimum, the bare minimum.
Perfect. It's perfection. It's,
yeah.
FF1 being nice, which never happens.
It's happened to a certain person who we will not name.
Banzai! Yeah, the reason Shin named his Black Mage Banzai is I have now named my own Black Mage Banzai twice, and both times, let's just say he hasn't let me down.
I'm wondering what if you would combine Banzai, Black Mage, and Puzzle in the same. I might give it a try this Wednesday.
Man, everybody's just gonna run the luck out of Banzai's name, aren't they?
So, what's happening here? In fact, Leno's just finished his grind. You'll see he's got his mages up to level 18. He's actually going to want his mages to be level 19 in order to get the next level of spells. But we've got some unrunnable encounters in the next dungeon before we go shopping, which means we will be up to 19 by then.
Yep.
But what Shin's currently doing, actually Shin is not currently doing it, but he will be, is grinding on a spike tile in order to have a controlled good source of EXP that we can kill quickly and easily.
And I think it's needless to define what a spike tile is. It's just a square from any given map which is programmed to give you a forced encounter no matter what.
So I do want to say Shen got really good luck on that first Evil Eye. One turn Thundara has a small chance of happening, especially
Pretty
in this
nice.
tournament. This tournament has brought out the worst of Final Fantasy I's RNG at times, and generally we don't get that. Evil Eye makes us wait.
You get what I got not so long ago. I had my 4 characters up. First attack was a physical gaze on my warrior, which was dead just after, and then my thief has been paralyzed gaze, then petrified gaze after. So that was set up for the entire grind.
Still 3 turns though.
Just 3 turns, but that's better than waiting forever.
Okay, somebody asked in chat who's leading. At the moment, Lenophis is. But
Yeah, he's probably got the biggest lead he's had so far.
Yeah.
RNG still can make this anyone's race. Anything can still happen. That's just Final Fantasy 1 in a nutshell.
But even if they are quite like apart for once, different is not that
Yeah, it's definitely still changeable.
tremendous.
That up until about 35 minutes in, you know, they were basically a few frames apart, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Yeah.
anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Exactly.
Pretty much, that's FF1's motto.
And then occasionally things will go spectacularly right, and you'll remember why you run this game.
I
Right,
have
so remember
no.
the banzai
You haven't
slide?
had that yet, Chris.
No.
I heard that silence.
No, I have not had that. We worked on reverse boss order route yesterday, and I had 2 bad runs. Leno comes in, first run of that, and just 135s beats my PB in any percent. I don't know why I run this game. Are there PSP emulators? Yes,
No.
there are. PPSSPP, which is what Shinbreakerseven is using.
Leo's
Leno
just
is
blatantly
on.
lying there.
No, it's on
emulators
console.
don't exist. They don't exist. Only consoles, please. Nah, kidding.
Well, to be fair, there are some parts where console excels, some parts where emulator excels. Emulator does have a tiny bit of lag going in between world map and a town. Consoles don't have that. However, emulators have faster saving and reset. So
Yeah.
it's a toss-up.
No, it's just me being my usual.
However,
no.
I'll give you guys a hint. Emulators are free. Moving on.
Thanks for that info.
I mean, we still don't condone piracy,
Of
so
course
please,
not.
please buy the game and
Yeah, pay all the
grab-
money and all of that stuff.
Yeah, just like I did.
Don't listen to Kib. She is the devil on your shoulder. Oh no, we've got a bit of NPC trolling going on Leno's side. However, he's done a good dodge there that I didn't even know you could do. Leno,
Yeah.
very experienced runner, knows all the things.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. That NPC could be north like it was in the first run in this tournament and just completely mess you up. I'm still not salty about that one.
Just in case anyone hasn't gathered yet, the first run in this tournament was Chris. And he's
Yeah.
salty.
Yeah, that run was not the best run.
Lucky for him, it wasn't restreamed.
Yeah, it was 2 days before the tournament was supposed to start.
Indeed.
So right here, we see them saving before this desert tile, which,
Oh, wow.
in case anybody's wondering why we parked so far away, that thing I said earlier about how airships generally don't have good landing space. We're on our way to the Citadel of Trials, and as you can tell, we need grass tiles, not marsh, not forest. Can't land on either of those. Can't land on desert. We need a full grass tile, and there's none of those near Citadel of Trial. And this will be a reoccurring theme.
And if anyone is wondering, how is it possible that Shinbreaker is on the same area as Lenophis?
Yep,
Is that
Shinbreaker's ahead now.
Yeah, yeah, magic. Shinbreaker didn't do what Lenophis did, like the whole stop to the
Yeah,
desert.
he's got some
and-
shopping that he skipped that he needs to...
And this is still
do later.
something that Lenophis does just for that race. I've never seen him doing that prior. So I don't know what's going on.
He's just feeling like shaking up a bit.
Does he have a way to predict how the RNG will work, depending the location it will go?
Definitely.
Okay, so I think what happened, because I was actually sitting in his chat yesterday, he's kind of combining the pseudo reverse boss order route at the moment, because it is a tiny bit quicker to grab the Oxyale there.
So
Well,
is
if
he
you ask that
basically
question to
rooting
Double Drop, it
on
will
the go?
tell you that it's actually slower. But
Oh, it is?
I don't know.
I mean- I
don't
It's so
know.
minimal, it doesn't matter too much. To anyone who's not, a hardcore router, don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, it's really preference.
Is the PSP version the same as the GBA version? Do you want to field this question, Leo?
Well,
In like 30 seconds or less.
Yes and no. Is it fast enough? Yes and no.
Thanks. Very insightful. we use the equipment glitch. It doesn't exist in any other version except for this game. And if you
Wrong.
want to know what it is, hey, you know what? I'm tired of you calling me out on things.
No, it's just that the glitch does exist in GBA, but it doesn't do anything.
So it doesn't exist then.
It exists, it just doesn't create anything useful.
It exists, but it doesn't create things.
It's just messing a bit with the game code, and the game just get all fuzzy, but...
Yeah, basically, the graphics are different. There's an extra dungeon in the PSP version. There's a few extra items
that we use.
And you can skip some cutscenes. I think that's... If I can give you a clear answer that these guys aren't giving you, I think that's all the differences I know of.
So essentially, we use the PSP exclusive stuff to make this run quicker.
But without doing the difficult dungeons.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that, Leno was ahead. Shin is now pulled pretty far ahead. Leno getting some unfortunate poison and stone. But nothing that he can't take care of. He has items for it.
Yeah.
And
so Shinbreaker is really into a spot that he could take the lead right now, if he could.
I mean, he's already taken the lead, Leo.
Not quite.
He's caught up quite a lot of time here, but unfortunately he's probably still not in the lead.
Leno went to the Desert Caravan and Gaia for the Oxale before the thing, and Shin didn't yet.
But when Shin gets the Oxyale, he should be slightly ahead.
Still waiting for that.
Well, I'm trying to commentator's curse here. I'm trying to pull a Kib.
You can't do that every time, or you'll be the one backfired. That. When is your next match, Chris?
It is tomorrow, and I'm hoping to God that Kib commentates it. I have something very special planned for her.
What?
Okay then, I'll take that challenge. Okay, what's going on Leno's screen right now? That is a close call.
Yeah,
Leno,
so he went
I assume that was an ambush that he just got.
Yeah,
it was.
It was an Earth Medusa ambush, and Earth Medusas can use a stare ability which can petrify anyone. So, as you don't have the ribbons or any means to prevent petrification, such as an accessory, you can still get petrified to death.
So depending here, Shin may be ahead. He's going to grab the fairy bottle, because Leno seems to be getting some very bad RNG.
Yeah, usually the cabin trial should be over about twice over by now, but he's really not having a good time of it.
So
maybe
Shin
Leno just got confident in being ahead, and now he's paying it due price.
So are you trying to tell me it's not commentator's curse?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. Is it? Anyway, Shin is on his way to go get Oxyale as Leno is making his trek back.
So
to the airship.
Know who's ahead? If Shinbreaker can get the Oxyale before Leno can change classes, we're gonna have our answer.
I think Shin's going to be ahead. Yeah. I mean,
I
don't know about you, but I don't think Gaia has any encounters.
Well,
I don't know. We could try and create a patch for that, even having encounters inside the cities, or just make cities having encounters and not with the world map or dungeons. I would
so Final Fantasy II then, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Has Shin done his spell shopping?
No, I don't think either of them have.
Well, if Shinbreaker is following the route that I'm having in my mind, he might not do that until he's done with Marilith.
So what we're saying here is how bad world map travel can be. Shin kind of got lost for a second.
Yeah, just a little.
Lots of water tiles, no real landmarks. So yeah, that's a thing. But
And that was a fabulous start to Mount Gold there. One step and encounter.
Shin is
the
in the lead.
Has quite a mini game to play in there. Do you know the game? The floor is lava.
Yes, and
yes, we know.
Normally, when you hear that, you must find a spot in the heights for not getting into the lava. Here, it's quite the reverse rule. Like, the more you stay onto the lava, the better you are.
You can't get encounters while you're on the lava tiles. You do, however, take 1 HP damage for every step that you take on all your encounters or your characters. So we will get to the end faster if we take the lava, but we'll have about 3 HP between all our characters. In fact, Shin's already made it there. So now you'll see him healing up so that we don't get wiped by any ambushes that we get hit by.
Technically, he had 4 HP. That's not including the one that was dead or petrified, because I think one of his characters had 2. So,
it's that 1 HP that makes the difference.
definitely. So we are seeing Shin go into Marilith here.
Super Leno.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
how you call it. So Super Shin is getting into Marilith. So you would think that maybe new boss, new strat, right? And nope.
Yeah, there's no new
yet.
strategies for any of these bosses. We just kill them.
Not for a long while yet.
Yeah. Do you think that the glitchless version would make you use some items to raise your physical attacks? All that time's lost compared to that version.
So, in case anybody was wondering, we use the Barbarian Sword, which is around 3 times more powerful than the Excalibur, just because it gives more strength and some other stats. It deals a lot of damage very quickly, and we got it before the first major boss. So, yeah, it trivializes the game a little bit, except for RNG happens.
Yeah, the Barbarian Sword does have a 134 attack stat, so that's the 1.5 times better than the Excalibur, for example.
I think it's about 2.5 times faster.
2.5?
Faster, stronger.
Harder, better, faster.
Yes.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. So now we see Leno in Mount Golg, having done his shopping beforehand.
Just to confuse us even more, he's decided to throw his shopping in before Marilith, which means that he will probably be using Hilara to fix his characters halfway through, which is a little bit faster.
Yeah, mostly because he can do it all at once instead of potion by potion by potion.
Yeah, but he will have to remember that his white mage is not ethered up yet.
And there you go, that is the kind of ambush that we were talking about. If they'd only had 1 HP per character, he would be dead by now.
And you just saw on your right that Shinbreaker tried to land his airship onto the city, like right onto the roof of a house, twice in a row.
I mean,
something tells me that the houses don't really like to be landed over.
Now, I mean, to the town's defense, Lich kind of made it look like crap. So I can understand his confusion. When you're that high up, it all sort of just blends in. It's all just dirt specks. But we don't
when Melmon finds out it looks like dirt.
I mean, Melmon is already a dead village, so why would you want to destroy it up more?
Well, there is a very interesting character that we will be going back to later on. Right. Shin will probably be going back there quicker than Leno at this point. But yeah, we'll be going back there later on. It would be very unfortunate if Shin would have been able to crush that town. He would not have been able to continue the game.
So instead of going on to mass murder, he just gave the Oxiel to the Phantom Siren, waiting for him. Well, actually, he didn't give anything. Just that he came to know that the Oxiel would enables him to breathe underwater.
Yeah, Shin, I have commentated with him in the past, and I do believe he is a scuba instructor, and he says you actually drink it, and that is exactly how it works. It allows you to breathe underwater for a little bit.
Just like
that's what they do in scuba.
So there's a fun routing thing that was talked about last night regarding Sunken Shrine. Shen getting an unrunnable here. So there are multiple of an item that we are going to use for glitching some armor called the Light Axe. Well, we found out that there is another one on the floor that Shinbreaker is on at the moment, and it's actually a little bit easier to get to. It's actually 4 tiles faster than the one that we have been using. And we can do the menuing there, have the items that we need quicker, and teleport all in the same menu. So thanks to poor Scythe for finding that one out. I probably just butchered his name.
Sounds right to me.
Yep.
But here we are grabbing the slab / Rosetta Stone for NES people in the thing.
It's called a slab.
So
wait, is that the actual name in the NES version?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the slab.
So right here where Shen and we are actually seeing Shen go for it. Yes.
Really?
Yes, he is going for the Light Axe on floor 4. So what happens is there is no spike tiles around this Light Axe chest. So he will be grabbing the Lordly Robes, survival vests, and all that on his characters.
But is it really that fast, or?
It actually
sounds like a very minor difference in terms of how many tiles it is different.
Oh, so it's just a matter of microseconds.
Yes, but it is a nicer menu. It is a nicer menu, but we actually see Shen going for it. It is a little bit. Technically, he should have done the menu in that menu, but because you can do the equipment glitch there, and then you can teleport all in the same menu, and it just feels nicer.
Well, it didn't have the MPs for more than 2 teleports, so maybe
he's looking a little bit like this is a new menu.
It is a little bit of a new menu.
Yeah, so literally, I think this was found yesterday. He's trying to.
It was found yesterday. Yeah, it was found yesterday. I tried it in my failed PB attempts because Mirage Tower is. We're not going to talk about it. Leno now getting some ghosts, and we will see use of Mage's Staff because it's still quicker than Judgment Staff. Judgment Staff is like 8 seconds. Mage's Staff is like 4.
Just for the record, the reason that Shin is doing this extended menu is that the survival vests he's putting on give us higher agility, which means that we can run away from pretty much anything now. And on the White Mage, you'll see that he's putting on some Lordly Robes, which increase her intelligence so that she can blast the living crap out of everything.
Yep.
As she's about to demonstrate for you.
She is now the main magic powerhouse.
So, somebody said in chat, the game looks sped up, and somebody said they have ninjas for move speed on world map and text speed set to max. Ninjas does not make a bit of difference. Dash is on. It is a...
it's a configuration setting.
And we have that set since the beginning of the run. Ninja does not make a bit of difference. But yeah, we have that, and anything that looks sped up is probably due to stream settings, whatnot. Which, speaking of stream settings, would like to thank Speed Gaming for hosting us. They are fantastic.
Very smooth.
Final Fantasy V has that setting. I don't know of any other Final Fantasy that has it in the early game.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 5 that you have to have a thief to be able to activate dash.
Yeah, so we see Leno actually going for ribbon inside of Sunken Shrine here and grabbing the second floor Light Axe, which has forced encounters on the left and the bottom. That is the one reason why the 4th floor Light Axe is just a little bit faster, no forced encounters. but menuing there is of importance. So we will see Leno be doing his menu, perhaps having some issues.
Some sea scorpions helping to slow Shin down just before Kraken.
It's fine. It's fine. So we're going into Kraken here, and surprise, surprise. Do you guys think anything's going to be any different?
Oh, we have new and exciting strats for this boss.
We're going to hack and slash. We're going to hack and slash. That is what this game has turned into. It's essentially a turn-based Diablo clone at this point. Lenophis getting some ghosts, which are unrunnable. Shin in chat saying he can't menu.
Yeah,
that menu...
I mentioned earlier in the run that he said that his house is extremely cold and he's having some trouble with his fingers. So
that menu as well. If you're not paying too much attention, you can mess up that menu because you are menuing quite a bit of stuff. That excitement this early in the morning, I love it. I actually woke up like 10 minutes before this race. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where is it early in the morning in the world?
I wonder.
Somewhere that's not in the United States, probably.
Oh, Alaska. I see.
Well, we'll stop complaining about being cold then.
But yes, Leno is going Barbarian Sword strats to an extent. Both are using modified routes. I do believe Shin is straight Lust Dagger strats, which the notes for were done by Nikki Knoll, and the route was actually put together by Kib, I do believe, with help from Forsyth and
other way around. Nikki put together the route. I made the notes.
Oh, okay.
I don't read things.
The notes, and Kib just added her graphical and formatting to it.
Gotcha.
And Shin's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's Waterfall Cave. Nobody really cares about this place.
We'll blame the cold. His fingers are cold. He doesn't know where he's going.
I do care about that location. I used to call it Ponyland.
Ponyland.
You're not wrong.
Deathbird Land.
You're not wrong. So, realistically, we don't like this cave. It has a high encounter rate, and if we could never come here, it would be great. But I
don't mind this place. It's not the Cavern of Ice. Put it that way.
Yep.
I appreciate your opinion and I respect it, but you're wrong. So we
the worst place in the world. I heard here.
We need the warp cube out of this place. If we could just skip that, it would be great. But we need it to access the second last dungeon.
And Shin is getting so many deathbirds here. You don't usually see that many Pyroliths. These guys, if they manage to get a hit in for you, such as in an ambush, their current latest effect that they can use with every attack is death. So every time these birds peck you, you die.
So somebody in chat said hashtag not all stoners. It depends. We have actually seen a lot of characters getting stoned in this run. I know that's not what you're talking about, but we have actually seen more characters get stoned in this run than probably any other run. I am more interested to see if Leno gets his luck from last night and Chaos Shrine.
And Leno catching up a little bit here, I think.
Yeah, and he's gonna have one menu less to do.
Commentators, do you like pineapple on pizza or no?
Oh, I see. We've got all the relevant questions from chat this evening.
I mean, wait, what was the question? I can't see anything. I don't think this question is from this world.
It's acceptable.
I don't see it. I can't see it. My brain is programmed not to be able to read that kind of question. It's all Greek to me.
I think it's supposed to be Italian, but that works too.
Well, no, pineapple must be Hawaiian. Something like that.
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. Hawaii-ish.
Here we see Shin leaving the waterfall cave, and he's going to be doing something special, hopefully. He's going to be learning a new language. Now, anybody who's ever learned another language, they know it takes a long time.
No. What you guys need to learn is you've been doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're not having the proper gesture and posture for it.
You have to wave your hand
Your hands.
And jump.
enthusiastically.
You have to wiggle. You have to raise your hand.
You have to wiggle.
You have to do the rain dance to learn it.
Yep, we'll show you what we're about to talk about. I think Shin is heading there now.
Yes.
Well, he didn't crash the village, so that's a good point.
Close.
Just gotta visit the University of Melmond.
Yes.
And speaking to the gravestone.
Graveyard. Nothing. Really nice to know that this university is literally a grave.
Now, please watch as demonstrated the perfect Lufinian technique by the knight here. First, you talk to this guy called Un. And,
He's jumping.
Then you put your arm out 3 times. And then you can speak Lufinian!
Yay!
You're welcome, guys.
So, somebody in chat says, so someone who loves this game but knows nothing about speedrunning it, are there any really big skips glitches used in this run? The equipment glitch, which I just posted because apparently we don't have a command for it, so I have kept it copied and pasted this entire time.
So just
so like we also need like a written copy paste.
You know what? You know what? Speed Gaming does a fantastic job. I can handle them not having that command because they do so much for the speedrunning community.
We could just copy paste it.
Yeah.
If we knew how it worked well enough to write it out.
that would take too long to actually just write out. Just have a video.
Also, Leno definitely catching up now. He's heading for the walk to Lavinia, I believe. Actually, no, he's not. He's going on a small detour.
So, no, he's actually going for it.
Oh, he's just going a slightly different direction. Okay.
So, here we are having this most terrible walk to Lufane, and Shin is having my luck Minotaur zombies. I hate this walk with a passion. 5 out of 7 encounters last night were Minotaur zombies.
It's one of the most mean bits on the world map, because most world map encounters are completely runnable and very easy to flee from.
Shin got my luck.
At this point in the game. But the Minotaur zombies, they come in big packs and they're completely unrunnable.
I think Leo's opting not to answer that question.
What question?
the pineapple on pizza question. So,
no.
Shin got
more relevant, more FF1 relevant questions. Ask us how we feel about Garland's underwear.
So
it's just a
perfect segue. Perfect segue for that. Lufane is not a friendly place. A lot of narrow passageways. Shin got my luck and got stopped by an NPC. Leno not getting that luck. So yeah, grabbing the chime. We need that for access to Mirage Tower.
Do the characters in Final Fantasy like pineapple on pizza?
You asked for more Final Fantasy related questions. There you go. Essentially, that's what made me just stop. I was talking and...
I imagine the White Mage really likes Hawaiian pizza. I think that's her favorite type.
Pretty sure Kraken would love it.
So,
like, he has one tentacle for each kind of pizza existing in this world. He might have tried it.
So somebody's saying I always figured Garland for a commando guy. I figured the armor would chafe a little bit. So yeah,
that really, really big white pants you get from the supermarket.
Right. So while we are digressing to the pizzas, we on Shin's side enter the Mirage Tower that you can access when you ring the chime in front of it to get rid of the mirage. And we are onto the 2nd floor, which is a terrible place encounter luck-wise.
Yeah, it's like the same kind of encounter rate as the Waterfall Cavern, but with more variety.
Yeah, with more wall to bonk into.
It would be shame if one of them got a 1 in 64 blue dragon and it completely mess over the run at the moment. May not be where a run of mine died last night. I'm extremely salty today. I'm sorry, guys. It'll clear up by the next match. I'm getting it all out now.
You should use some pineapple. You would be all sweetie then.
So we're getting a forced blue dragon here on Shin's screen. And
Nice
by the
one.
way, I still want to say that this race is still really close, even though Leno is a floor behind. But here we're fixing to see the warp cube used for the first and last time to get in a flying fortress, which is the second to last dungeon. They will not be grinding some Omega RX. The one in Flying Fortress is called Warmech, and Leno actually got one last night, but it wasn't during the tournament, so it doesn't count. But it did make his run valid. We are hoping to see some Warmechs in the tournament.
Oh wow, we're in Warmechville already?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not yet, but really close.
Have you
Two
guys
floors.
have you guys told them about the 164 one floor encounter luck?
Yep.
Are we ready for the possibility of a Warmech?
I don't
we
think
didn't,
the
but
chat
you
is.
just did.
Can we get some blessed RNGs in chat, please?
Can we get some Warmech
Warmech
hype?
may grace us
No.
with his presence.
Because do remember, if someone gets the Warmech, he gets the golden ticket to the finals without
Exactly.
even competing at all.
So I would give bless RNG, but I'm just going to give some Hias there. Somebody saying screw RNG.
RNG.
Don't say that. There is RNG manipulation in this run, and
Also, never challenge FF1.
as far as that goes, FF1 always wins.
I once did a run where my character's names were something like "Screw You FF1," and it was one of the worst runs of my life.
You know what?
You
You know what?
I
had a run that I named my characters "This Game is Dumb," and I PB'd that run first time learning Lust Dagger strats.
Okay,
So
well, that's interesting.
have at it as you will, but this game is a fickle mistress, and she is not a very kind one.
So Tiamat is down on Shin's side. There's still a small chance for a Warmech before he goes to the teleporter. It's unlikely, but possible.
So let's bless Leno for Warmech encounter that he's not going to get. That is very unfortunate. I am disappointed.
Yeah, no way he's going to get it. No. Damn it.
Just ran right through the floor with no encounter.
And
so
that is why
upset.
it's so rare, because you can run through this floor and get absolutely nothing, let alone get a 1 in 64. But believe us, guys, Warmech is worth it.
Warmech exists. It's not a myth. Just for this tournament, it is, unfortunately.
Well, you will have to argue with that because I've never encountered it since I started speedrunning that game on GBA. And it was 2 years ago. 2 years without any Warmech. You know the frustration that grows slowly inside.
Do you need a hug, Leo?
Oh.
No, he needs a Warmech.
I need a pineapple.
Would Warmech wipe characters with this level?
No, because we've
depends.
got so much agility equipment on.
Depends.
Yeah.
If the encounter is an ambush, there's a possibility you could wipe. But you could also get a normal or a preemptive.
Preemptive, quite often.
So let's talk about this cutscene. This cutscene is completely useless. This is actually for a bonus dungeon named Labyrinth of Time, which, by the way, we're not doing. But all of our equipment's from it, so have fun with that. So we're gonna go up here and talk to this orb or interact with it as you will.
Dark crystal.
Right?
Because
Black
what it
crystal?
isn't
Black crystal.
Black
Even though it's
crystal,
blue.
because it's what isn't said during the run is that story-wise, whenever we kill one of the fiend, so related to an element, not only the crystal are being stored, making the earth, the wind, the volcanoes, and the water areas being more sane and more
Purple worm alert.
purple. No, not yet.
Leo, I will strangle you.
So what I was saying is that every time you enable a crystal to be restored, that crystal is emitting
Oh,
a sort of energy.
Oh. Oh.
Nah, it's fine.
No, it's not.
It's fine.
Did Shin save on his entrance to?
No, he didn't.
Oh, that is going to be very unfortunate, and he is ahead.
And now he's panicking.
This would be
hesitation that you see in battle menus when people are panicking.
So I do want to say that Shin is still technically ahead for the moment, and if he pulls this out, this will be his first win of the tournament. I am in the same position.
I think running probably would have been a better chance of getting. Oh, okay. 2 judgment stuffed from the non-magic dealers party. Luckily,
I would have
kill.
I would have done the same.
I would have too, because it's not worth risking.
Yeah, it would have just needed like 2 more ice storms to get the whole party.
Ooh.
Hey, a save!
Hopefully, he's gonna save. Yeah.
So I hope you guys are ready for the first key item that we got at the beginning of this game.
Purple worm.
Oh, so Shin may be getting Leno's encounter from last night. He had green dragons almost completely wreck a run. But the loot that we got at the very beginning of the game, in this game, it's actually forced that you get it, which is why they go up and talk to the princess. But we're fixing to see that for the first and only time, like most key items in this game. So, going into Death Eye encounter, we're just gonna wait. Okay, so we're past that now.
So the 2 runners are really close to each other right now.
Yeah, this is still anyone's race. I'm enjoying
White
this.
Dragon's encounter has really evened it out for them.
Oh, they're both getting the same kind of time encounter after the boss.
So they are both playing the loot simultaneously.
Wow.
Yeah, they do a full concert. That's.
So
I mean, the loot really resembles a ukulele.
Shin was a good 3-4 minutes ahead in like kind of Sunken Shrine.
I was
more. So Leno just pulled ahead with that encounter that Shin got. So yeah, it's still anyone's race. Oh, look at that. Ice Gigas and Winterwolves. So, thanks. Shoutouts to the commentators for perfect, flawless...
Again.
Perfect, flawless commentary. I'll take that.
I don't really think that we've talked too much about the game, but this is fine. This is fine. So guys, do you think Ice Gigas like a pineapple on their pizza?
No, they probably like ice on their pizza.
Another set of purple worms. What should I do?
Not saying.
No, please.
Okay.
Please no.
Oh. Yeah, you're not fun.
Oh, hey.
Double purple worm. Oh.
You can do it. Just once. Just once.
Nah, I already did it.
Oh, okay. That's fine then.
You were talking. That's
what zombie dragons like on their pizza? They like their pizza boneless.
Wow.
Okay, moving on.
And the awards to the best joke goes to the pineapple pizza. Right. So Lenophis is back ahead. Just a matter of who will get more encounters than the other.
Or, you know, get very bad RNG on a boss.
Yeah, unrunnables are all the fun here.
And most of this dungeon is unrunnable.
They're so close.
Yeah, but Shinbreaker is now behind.
Anything can change. This is Final Fantasy 1. I do believe we do have people in chat wanting Leo to sing, but the purple worm is over now, so you guys aren't going to get that.
Yeah, no more purple worms.
I mean, I now have the
possibly
proof
on the 5th floor.
Has a perfect song taste when it comes to Prince.
So we see Leno getting flare and just resetting.
Oh no! Why didn't he try?
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't kill you.
He has like ribbons on everyone. Shouldn't be a deal. That's putting Shinbreaker back ahead.
So we're seeing Shin back in the lead, but this is still anyone's race, and I know that Shin
doesn't do the haste strat.
No,
also, this
he
is
doesn't.
a good point to notice that Leno's ninja has ridiculously low HP for this point.
Yeah, though Shinbreakers has the total opposite. Like, his party is
Holy
ready for a
crap.
tonic-less chaos fight.
We got all kinds of RNG going on here.
Yeah. I'm calling the tonic-less fight. I really hope Shinbreaker will risk.
Nah, I'd put one on my Black Mage.
Yeah.
Banzai doesn't perform for others, I'm afraid.
I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't. I would take a turn where the Black Mage will use the healing staff just for safety, but I wouldn't tonic the Black Mage.
What do they call a badly programmed Lich boss? A glitch. Wow.
And the award goes to the chat.
So we see them both in the Merilith fight. I do believe they have around the same equipment on all of their characters.
Nope.
Maybe.
Lenophis has a full party with the Barbarian Sword, though Shinbreaker still has only 2 characters with the Barbarian Sword.
Ooh, Water Elemental. That is an unrunnable.
Only unrunnable over the floor. Though you can escape a Water Elemental if accompanied with a Naga.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, this floor, the speed of how you get through it is pretty much decided by how many Water Elementals you run into.
So we may be looking at our closest time in this tournament for races.
Definitely.
The closest times so far are all from the same group, and they are 1:38 and 1:39. A minute 38 and a minute 39.
That definitely sounds like Commentator's Curse.
So
Game, set, team match. Wow.
More points to terrible puns in the chat.
So this is fine.
That really deserves a golden glove.
So this is
Luckily for you guys, I love puns.
Right, so Lenophis is the very first one to have some hits over Kraken. This is going very big right now. Who's gonna win? I don't know.
These puns are cracking me up. Okay,
what are you talking about? That would be one of my splits for Pokemon Red. For
wow, guys.
What are you doing?
Wow.
So I want you all to know that I am happy that we had a 3-way commentary on this one. But I'm also really happy that I am commentating the next one with Shin. So you guys are getting a double dose. You guys are getting double dose of me. I'm sorry. I'm legitimately sorry.
Shin is all kind of professional. You can expect him to actually.
I mean, if you are covered in dust, you just go back to Mathieu's cave to get broomed.
You're not as pretty as she thought you were before she got a crystal eye back. That is actually one of her lines in the game.
Yep.
But we are seeing Shin catch up on. We've already passed Lich. You don't worry about it, guys. I got nothing.
I believe Lano is slightly ahead now. He's already past tier bat, which means he just probably got a slightly better water floor than Shinbreaker did.
Kib, your commentary curse. That could change everything right now.
Well, I reckon Chaos is gonna
the double haste
one-shot
on the
someone.
ninja. What a
Leo, they may both go tonicless. I mean, the ninja on Leno's side looks a little bit low, but they both may go tonicless.
I think they're both
I would
fairly
tonic the ninja
safe
on Leno's
runners
side.
who are gonna tonic just in case.
I would tonic the ninja on Leno's side, and I would go to Nicholas on Shin's side, because everyone is having the right range right now. Like, Banzai is a hero.
Can we just ignore the run right now and just do the puns?
I mean, Shinbreaker is now back ahead thanks to the air elemental encounter that Lenophis can't run from.
So, Kib, I just want to say, what have we been doing this entire race? I think we've been ignoring the run.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry,
so
guys.
I don't think that we're doing anything different.
Okay, we will now, everybody in chat, focus on Chaos, because this is actually the only boss in this run that we actually have to worry about.
So somebody asked in chat, what did I do to deserve this punishment? And like I said, you tuned in. And thank everybody who tuned in. You guys are great. I hope you guys are
really
great.
having a lot of fun.
Ishman.
Yeah, so just if we could temporarily focus on the run, guys. Right, they're doing a last menu here to get some more intelligence on for the White Mage so that she can do good heals. Put a Barbarian Sword on anyone who doesn't currently have one so that they can do more damage. And the first thing I'll be doing in this fight is putting Giant Tonics on any characters who don't have much HP, because Chaos likes to throw lots of big spells out there. So you don't want a big spell in your first turn.
Shin, don't go for that. You don't
have
need
those Giant Tonics yet.
You don't need to.
He's being safe.
You don't need to.
Also,
You
shout
have the
out to
ribbon.
Banzai and the 272 HP.
Oh my god.
Wow, you don't need to do that when you have 272 on your Black Mage.
He's being safe.
Yeah,
Which is always a good idea in a race.
I know.
Leno on his side, just starting the fight. Surprisingly, still got his thief in first place, rather than putting the warrior on the first
So
slot.
this may be the difference here. Shin is definitely going to get an extra attack off on Chaos, whereas Leno is double Giant's tonicking.
But we're getting big spells on both sides here.
So this is...
See? No need for a tonic.
Leo, please.
I mean, this raid is already dynamic. No need to tonic it up.
Yeah, so Chaos here is just casting all his longest animations, which is not good for either of these runners. Oh
Ooh.
no,
And
Leo, why did you say that?
I told you.
Ooh, that is
And
very
on-
unfortunate.
and on-
That is
Listen.
Leo's fault.
Yeah, totally. I voodooed it. I called for it right before the race. So on Shin's side, Cyclone happened,
no.
and even without the tonic, the Black Mage would have survived. So point proven, you don't need to tonic whenever you over 230 for a Black Mage.
Did you miss the part where his ninja died?
Yeah, I saw it,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was wise to just rub the knife in it.
Just thought you'd carry on.
You just keep punching.
It is a dagger. So here in a second. Here we go.
Time to Shinbreaker. GG.
136.35 on his screen.
136.36 in SRL time.
And that would have been
yeah,
such a close race if it wasn't for that
So-
ninja's low HP there.
So we're going to have Shin jump in chat here real quick, and he's going to be staying for the next race because he's commentating with me. Hey Shin, how are you?
Hey.
GG for your
GG,
race.
Shin!
Yeah, I'd rather be lucky than good.
Especially
Well,
with this game. Holy crap,
I mean,
you guys were neck
before-
and neck.
Before
Yeah,
we get to commentate what had just happened, there's one major question to ask to Shinbreaker. Do you like pineapples on your pizza?
I'm
Do
not
you
a big
want to
fan
use
of
a
them.
joke? Do you
So
want to use
I
a
was
joke or
listening to
flower?
commentary for
And he's gonna be
a little
staying
while,
for the
then
next
my
race because he's commentating
it was on
with
my
me.
telephone.
Hey,
My
Shin,
phone
how
battery
are you?
died around the time I was entering the ice cave and was super behind. Then I looked up at the restream, and somehow in like 2 minutes, I got 5 minutes ahead
Especially with this game. Holy
in the
Yeah.
Citadel Trials.
Well, no, technically you weren't ahead. It's just that Lenophis did the Desert Caravan plus the Gaia trip before going to the Citadel, while you did the Citadel before doing all that. So you were
Gotcha.
actually on the same point, but Lenophis was being ahead because he did some side trips prior, but he ultimately got a bad RNG inside the Citadel, so you went out of first. You did your job upgrade, which he didn't at the moment, and you did what he did just before he gets to the same point as you. So you were ahead by like 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half. That.
Yeah, my menuing today was just rubbish. Between my hands being cold and me just my mind blanking, I probably lost 2 to 3 minutes to menuing in this game.
So I do want to say I am extremely proud of you. So far, you are the first one in the
GG,
tournament
Leno.
to do the 4th floor light axe.
Yeah, I knew I had to be the first one to do it. Since we were talking about it last night, it was literally a strat we came up with last night on the fly. I'm not sure it's faster because of the higher encounter rate down there, but I had to try it.
The menuing was wrong. You should have done the equipment glitch before the teleport. That's the reason why.
The menuing was wrong is just in general my description of this race for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and you did a thing that I was severely against
light axe.
for the very final fight. I think Chris and Kibitha can attest what I said.
Okay.
You should have gone tonicless.
Okay, so I do want to state, to be fair to Leno here, Leno has a 1:38.38, and hey, Leno, he finished with an SRL time of 1:38.40.
GG.
Very good job.
GG, Leno. I'm
You were so
sorry
close.
about chaos.
You were so close.
What the hell was that?
I think that was your ninja dying, but don't worry. You
Nah, I
chat
I was
has been
so
really fair.
close before that.
I
You
think
guys were
it all
about 10
came-
seconds apart.
Yeah, I was looking at it like going in, like he passed me up on the water floor on the
Yeah.
restream, and then I passed him back up. He got that last encounter on the Tiamat floor that got me a few seconds ahead of him, and then it just.
So close.
You
Oh,
guys
so
were
sorry,
neck and
Leno.
neck.
And
You
then I
guys
got
were-
a magic cycle, so I'm glad I did tonic because I got that magic cycle.
No, you would have actually survived.
Yeah.
Leo, shush.
But,
no, I mean that would have been something that would have granted even more speed if it was a very very tight race. Like it was going to be one if Lenophis just remembered to put his ninja in the second slot. It's a
And
time where I
Ninja
can
first
rock
slot.
the
How are you
Ninja
feeling,
first.
Leno?
Ninja first slot. I feel like the game is out to get me today.
Oh,
you
I
know
mean,
what,
it all
Leno?
came down to the puzzle. You didn't get the emergency exit, so you couldn't win.
Leno, it's not as bad as the Green Dragons from yesterday. I was praying that you didn't have that RNG. You didn't get it, but you didn't get Warmech either. So I think that was the deciding factor.
Well, I got petrified early. My warrior got petrified early in Earth Cave. You're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to leave him petrified. I don't care. And then I remove his petrification. The game's like, nope, you're going to be petrified. I'm like, okay, screw it. I don't care. I'm just going to leave it.
You had terrible petrification luck.
I had terrible status luck in general because I got poisoned a bunch too.
So
That's-
I think I had mixed luck. I think I had two splits that my old splits for my PB aren't really accurate because I changed my routing some. But I think as far as this current route, I think both my Marilith and my Citadel Trial splits would have been golds. Those were both just stupid, crazy fast. And
Well, you did enter the volcano with an immediate encounter, so I don't think it would have been.
well, I think that's the only one I got though.
So pretty much, maybe another one, but we didn't see it in time.
Yeah.
So I do want to say, congrats, Shin. Out of all of the people who have been 2-0 in this tournament, and there are a couple of, you are the first one to go 1-2. Or sorry, 0-2. But you do have a win now. I am proud of you. You are representing us. I do apologize to Leno for that very unfortunate loss, but this is Final Fantasy 1.
This is like, I don't even know what this game is anymore. Was anybody paying attention to my Citadel area?
Yeah.
Oh,
just
it
in
was
general?
so bad.
Oh, well, we
It
could
was
do.
so
I mean,
bad.
we didn't have anything to commentate, but seeing you struggle through it.
Oh, thankfully, chat had our back through the rest of the run.
If the chat didn't come up with the pizza, we would have had a very boring.
It's true. They
It
have
was
been
like,
a pleasure.
Leno is getting an encounter. Oh, he's out. Oh, he's getting another encounter. Oh, he can't run from. Oh, he's out. Oh,
Do
another
the
encounter.
commentators like pineapple on pizza? Yeah, that's. It's been a very fun race to commentate.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about that unfortunate death, though. Like, you guys were so neck and neck throughout the entirety of it, even after the reset on Lich. So, it was a good run, guys.
Talking about that reset,
I think-
Leno, I don't understand why you did. Because you had
do you
the
mean?
ribbon everywhere.
Yeah.
So you would have survived. So you would have still been able to land some attacks, right?
Flare is non-elemental, and since nobody had even close to 300 hit points, I wasn't even going to bother seeing if anybody was going to survive, so I just reset.
Okay.
Or 400 hit points, because Flare does a ton of damage. You need a 400 hit point ceiling to reliably survive it, and none of my characters were closer. Like, I didn't think I was going to survive it. I didn't bother.
Oh, so that might just be my range luck, because usually whenever flare happens, both my warrior and my white mage survives, even if they are below 400. I don't know, maybe.
Well, it's possible all of them would have survived, but I wasn't gonna check.
Okay.
Because I knew it was gonna be bad.
But yeah, that was a very, very tight race through and through, except for that one strike of luck at the very end.
Yeah, I feel a little guilty having won that, because Final Fantasy won that game. Because execution-wise, that was by far my worst race in the last
Oh
two
yeah, you had
tournaments.
You were having a little
quite
bit of
the-
trouble with menus,
yeah.
weren't you?
quite the hiccup.
It was really bad. So Leno did not lose that race. Final Fantasy just was mean.
Yeah.
So I do want to say, somebody in chat at the beginning of the race said, since it's a Final Fantasy game, there must be some RNG manipulation. My response to that was the only RNG manipulation in this game is how well the runners do. Do you guys agree with this?
I would
Okay.
like to point out that Shinbreakerseven had a black mage by the name of Banzai.
Yes.
And do you know how much HP the black mage called Banzai had?
You know what?
270.
You remember me talking about my PB my PB run that I said that my character names were "This game is dumb." My black mage, who was named Dumb, had 270 before he left Ice Cavern.
Clearly,
So-
Banzai or Dumb are both good names.
Since we decided not to ban Bonsai after all the luck Kib had with them, I decided if I can't ban it, use it.
Can't beat him, join him.
Bonsai strats.
Well, you do know what I'm gonna do on my race Wednesday. I'm gonna combine
Emergency exit.
Bonsai and Puzzle. That's gonna be hilarious, right?
Okay. So I want to commentator curse this now. You're not getting emergency exit.
Oh, wow!
But
I'm gonna
you
get
will
it
get
third
one
try
from
then.
the purple worm in the Chaos Shrine.
I'm gonna get it third
There you
try.
go.
I mean, Leno could have
Call
gone for a second puzzle and get it.
Yeah,
Could
the
have, but-
emergency exit in Ice Cavern strat is not too bad. I won't lie. It saves
Well,
the trip out.
I know, I used it.
I know you did.
Then again, maybe if Lano hadn't gone for the 15 puzzle, maybe he would have won. We
That's
don't
possible.
know.
I mean, this game.
This game, yep. I've commentated about 5 races now, and every single interview we've had just ended the stream going, this game.
So I do want to state, because you brought that up, you have actually commentated the most games, and I am right behind you on that.
And that was actually
make it
my
a
very
race.
first.
So that may be a thing. We may see how many people commentate how many matches. Especially
And
the
whoever
purple
commentates the
worm
most gets a ticket to the final.
I will be happy to not take that ticket to the finals. If I lose this bracket, I am done with Final Fantasy 1 for a while, and I am happy. to be
I
done
can't
with
blame
the game.
you.
There are so many more games that don't have this RNG that I would be so much happier playing. So,
But it's part of the joy of the game.
what are you talking about? What joy?
Right,
I
guys.
hope
As much as
my-
I like that
Yeah.
interview, I really I have to go. There's
Yeah,
some
and we'd
other
better
thing I
start
have to
setting
talk
up for
about.
the next race as well.
So,
The
congratulations.
next race is actually been postponed.
Oh, okay.
There is no next race. It's been postponed.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
about
know,
that, chat. We've been talking about that next race, and it doesn't exist.
yeah. It doesn't
Unfortunately,
show that
It is an
only
X race.
to get my leave. So, congratulations, Shin, for your victory. Lenophis, this is just a matter to take care. Like, you have to win now. You're
yeah.
obliged to win.
There's actually an image I'm going to show the chat that is perfect for what happened today, and yeah, I just gotta find it now.
But yeah,
There it is.
Thanks for that amazing race. Really tight.
Yeah.
I really look forward to another commentary. That was very fun.
Mhm.
Especially with Kib and Chris.
And the pineapple pizza chat.
And the panel pizza.
Thank you, chat. It's been fun.
Thank you, chat. You are the most punished.
Hey, I'm gonna get going pretty soon here as well. I do want to go ahead and thank Speed Gaming and Feasel for hosting us. Want to thank all of you for your awesome commentary. What I heard of it was really fun. I would like to thank Bonsai.
Banzai.
Leno for,
Banzai.
yeah, like thank Leno for the race. Everyone for watching. It's been a whole lot of fun. Make sure everybody follow these commentators. You follow Leno. They're all a great deal of fun. And all that being said, 2 okra jellies. Y'all have a good day.
And thanks for the pizza.
And thank you, everyone. And good night from us.
Okay, so before everybody leaves real quick, I do have to ask, what was that about the next race?
The next race has been postponed. We will get back to you on when it'll be rescheduled.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yep.
As always, thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us. They are fantastic to work with, and it is unfortunate that we don't have that next race, but thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah. Have a good day.